set to go from Detroit as Matt Prater approaches and booms it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now Ryan on first down. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An early statement on the game's first play. 18 yards and a first down. On first and 10, it's Ryan. That's caught. It's Coleman. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be second down.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. Now Ryan drops it off for Coleman. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make this a second down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Defensively, they better figure something out. Opening drive, he already has 4 catches.
And if you have to figure out how to stop him defensively, that usually means you weaken your defense. That means that now the offense is doing the dictating, and they should have other things open up as well.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a first down. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Flush to his right. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, 31 yards. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Hey, tag 32, tag 32.
On 1st down, Stafford here. Caught right side, Tate. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards there for number 15. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
11. Here we go.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Eluding the pressure right. And his throw is going to be incomplete. LeGarrette Blount was the intended target. And now it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Over the middle, complete. It's Tate. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10. Down at the 33.
40 got. Set. Waiting.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
Here we go. Jumbo.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And he's got his tight end. This is Luke Wilson. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Flushed out right. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Here's Riddick, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. And with the play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Now it's Stafford. Screen pass to Blount. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
They'll go to Blount, try and pound it in. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Garrett Blunt taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And here now come the Falcons. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're...
And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Jonathan Freeney coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Devon Kennard in there to get him, and this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays. Ryan in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Devon Kennard in there to get him. His second sack now of the afternoon. Here's Matt Bosher now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10.
Stay 50, go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Wilson. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. 1:57 to go in this first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this.
Go. 21.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here we go. Omaha, remember? Mike 5'9",
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, keep carrying it, thank you.
He hits Riddick underneath. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. The Lions need to move. They're hustling to the line now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. The Lions on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Stafford. He finds Riddick. complete. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. To throw on second down is Stafford. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay, but in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They go play action here on first down. Rolling to his right. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll make it a second down.
On the ball, on the ball.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
The Lions on third down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Keep it there.
Here's Stafford. Escaping the pressure right. It's caught. Jones. And he gets it down to the 48. Enough for the first. Stafford to Jones. Enough for a Lion first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here we go, here we go. On the ball, on the ball. Tell me right.
Now a first down throw. Stafford under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Tack McKinley. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
22. Hey.
Here's Stafford now on second down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on second down, and that leads to a tough 3rd down call.
Hey, tag 50 left. Set. 180. Hey, go here.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
21.
On 1st down, it's Stafford. And finding the tight end, Wilson. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
The Lions on 3rd down. Can't be any better than a perfect 6 for 6. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved. Well, that's a tough, costly penalty, because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start.
21.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And that is incomplete. Robert Alford that time on the great coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. On 1st down, Ryan. Going underneath, it's Coleman. Room to run past midfield. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Ryan in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. Back now at Ford Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Complete to Jones. 11 yards for number 11. And until that point, we haven't seen Julio Jones. That's hard to believe here this late in the game.
And no one more frustrated then Julio Jones, because receivers feed off of catches. That's their fuel, and that's also their affirmation. And he hasn't been getting much of that in this game, and their team is losing, and he wants to have a better effect on the game.
Just the first connection, Ryan to Jones there. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Touchdown, Falcons! Devontae Freeman, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons have taken the lead here in the 4th. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And he powers his way up past the 30. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And they'll run it here. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Okay, it was 4th down, but you still had time here in the 4th quarter. Instead, they make the decision to go for it on their own side of the field, and this ball winds up getting intercepted.
Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that makes it a 21-10 game. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 21.
Hey, give me radar. 4 down. White. Check 4. Hey, go here.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Grady Jarrett with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
22.
Play action. Stafford. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Set. Lady. Double right. 11.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Stafford. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Let's go. Hey, got it.
After the interception, here's Ryan. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 33 yards. And the Falcons turn that interception into a touchdown. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And they finally get to him, but not before he's past the 45 to the 46-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to throw. Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter.
Jumbo. 10.
Stafford on 1st down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And this is incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. Throwing on 3rd and long. Stafford. And he locates Luke Wilson. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
They're running. Set. Blue 80. 21.
Back to the air. Stafford on second down. Flush to his right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Vic Beasley in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Throwing on third and long. Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game.
Set. Jumbo, jumbo. That's good. Hey, red. Check 45 to the mic. Check 45 to the mic. Defense wins championships, baby.
Desperation time for Stafford on fourth down. Now a death, and he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, 32 yards. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he's going to be marked down deep in Detroit territory. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. Ryan wants to throw it. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Here's Bosher to kick it away. To return, here's Agnew. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth.
22. Set. Lady. Hey, 22. Zebra. Oh, here. Here we go.
To throw on second down is Stafford. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Throwing on third and long. Stafford.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Oh, look at this. Ryan's going to throw it. He's airing it out for Sanu, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Mohamed Sanu, 32 yards. And the Falcons turn that interception into a touchdown. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
White. Set. Yellow waiting. Yellow waiting.
One last throw here for Stafford. And that will be incomplete.